Everything led to this. The lies, the betrayals, the blood on her hands. We watched Claire walk free once, but not this time. The trap is set. The exposé is published. The confrontation is public. And tonight, justice finally has teeth. This is episode 4, The Trap. The finale of We Were Never Friends. Turn off the lights one last time. Put in your headphones. And listen closely. Because endings like this don't come quietly.
Anna's office is downtown, small but functional, walls covered with case files and legal precedents. She, Vanessa, Ethan, Meredith, David, and Rachel Torres sit around a conference table that's seen better days.
Claire's immunity covers crimes related to her testimony about Seattle development corruption.
Anna explains.
It doesn't cover new crimes committed after the deal was signed. If we can prove she's engaged in continued harassment, stalking, or other illegal activity,
she'll claim self-defense.
Rachel interrupts.
That we're harassing her, forcing her to respond.
Unless we catch her initiating,
David says.
Prove she's the aggressor.
Meredith speaks quietly.
She came to my house last night, stood on the lawn, didn't knock, didn't speak, just stood there for 20 minutes watching my windows. When I called the police, she was gone.
Same, Ethan says. Restaurant's been getting negative reviews online. All fake, all posted from burner accounts. Health inspector showed up yesterday. Someone called in an anonymous complaint. We passed inspection, but the disruption, the cost.
She's systematically destroying everyone who opposed her.
Vanessa says.
But carefully. Nothing directly traceable. Just pressure, psychological warfare, death by 1,000 cuts.
Which is harassment.
Anna says.
Stalking. If we can document the pattern, connect it to Claire specifically.
How?
Meredith asks.
She's too smart to leave evidence.
Everyone leaves evidence,
Rachel says.
The question is whether we're willing to do what's necessary to find it.
She looks at David.
You have access to Claire's house, her computers. You're still technically married, living in the same home.
Separated.
David corrects.
But yes, we're still in the house until the divorce finalizes. She's staying in the guest room.
Can you access her devices?
Legally? No. We're separated. Attorney says I can't access her private communications without consent.
What about consent that looks like a mistake?
Rachel pulls out a small device.
This is a keylogger. Attaches to a USB port, records every keystroke. If Claire uses her laptop in the house, if you accidentally plug this in while borrowing her charger,
that's illegal surveillance.
Anna says immediately.
That's gathering evidence of ongoing criminal activity.
Rachel counters.
The question is, do we want to stop Claire, or do we want to follow rules she's never followed?
Silence. Vanessa speaks first.
She confessed to me, to Jessica's murder. Said it directly, knowing I couldn't prove it, knowing she was protected. She's escalating because she thinks she's untouchable. If we don't stop her now, she'll keep destroying people until someone else dies.
Or until she makes a mistake, Ethan says.
Everyone makes mistakes eventually. Claire doesn't.
Meredith says.
That's the problem. She's always 3 moves ahead.
Then we need to force her hand.
David says slowly.
Make her react instead of plan. Get her emotional, angry, careless. How?
Anna asks. David looks at Vanessa.
You're the one thing she can't control. Her obsession, her mirror, her unfinished business. If you push the right buttons, she'll overreact.
You want me to bait her?
I want you to make her so angry she forgets to be careful.
The Seattle Tribune publishes Rachel's article on a Tuesday morning. The Perfect Life, One Woman's Decade of Manipulation. It's devastating. Rachel interviewed 23 people, classmates from Stanford who remembered Claire's pattern of academic manipulation, business associates who described unethical practices, former friends who'd been systematically isolated and destroyed. Jessica's section is careful. Rachel couldn't prove murder, but she laid out the timeline: scholarship fraud, confrontation, brake line damage, accident. Let readers draw conclusions. The article includes David's testimony about the fake job offers, the journal entries, the systematic nature of Claire's deception. By noon, it's viral. By evening, national news outlets are calling. By midnight, Claire's immunity deal is under review, prosecutors questioning whether she withheld information about other crimes, whether the deal was obtained through fraudulent testimony. Vanessa's phone rings at 1 a.m. Unknown number. She answers.
You think you've won.
Claire's voice, cold fury barely contained.
You think putting my life in the newspaper changes anything?
It exposes you, shows everyone what you are.
What I am is smarter than you, stronger, more willing to do what's necessary. That article, it's words. I deal in actions.
Are you threatening me?
I'm promising you. By the end of the week, everyone you've turned against me will understand why crossing Claire Hartwell is a mistake they'll regret for the rest of their very short, very miserable lives.
The line goes dead. Vanessa immediately calls Anna.
She took the bait. She's furious, making threats.
Did you record it?
Yes.
Vanessa sends the audio file.
And I'm meeting her tomorrow. Public place, witnesses. I'll get her to incriminate herself.
Vanessa, that's too dangerous.
It's the only way. She's losing control. Let's see what happens when Claire Hartwell can't manipulate the situation.
The coffee shop is crowded, loud, full of students and freelancers. Perfect for a public confrontation, terrible for privacy. Vanessa arrives first, chooses a table near the window, sets her phone to record. Claire arrives 15 minutes late, composure restored, expensive sunglasses hiding whatever fury burned through her last night.
You wanted to meet.
Claire says, sitting without invitation.
Let's meet.
I wanted to give you a chance to stop, to walk away before this gets worse.
Worse for whom? My immunity stands. The Tribune article is already being countered by my lawyers. Defamation, libel. We're building a case that will bankrupt Rachel Torres. And your friends?
Claire leans forward.
Ethan's health inspection was just the beginning. Meredith's about to be audited by the IRS. Anonymous tip about unreported income. David's going to lose custody of our daughter because I have documentation of his alcohol abuse and verbal violence.
Lies.
Proof. That's all courts care about. I have emails, recorded conversations, witnesses who'll testify David was unstable, dangerous. He'll get supervised visitation at best.
You're threatening a child's welfare to...
I'm protecting my daughter from people who'd turn her against me. Everything I do for family.
Vanessa signals with her hand, the gesture they'd planned. In the corner, David raises his phone, starts recording video.
Family.
Vanessa repeats.
Is that what Jessica was? Family?
Claire's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in her eyes.
Because you killed her. You damaged her brake line, sent her to her death, and felt nothing but satisfaction.
Prove it.
You confessed. In my apartment, you said you gave her a choice, that the brake line was insurance.
Your word against mine. And I have immunity.
For crimes you disclosed during your agreement. But murdering Jessica wasn't part of that testimony. You hid it from prosecutors. That's fraud.
Is it?
Claire smiles.
Or is it simply that I didn't remember every detail of a 7-year-old accident until you triggered the memory with your harassment?
You're good,
Vanessa says.
I'll give you that. But you're not perfect, and you're about to make a mistake.
Really? What mistake is that?
Vanessa shows her phone screen, recording in progress, already uploaded to cloud storage, already shared with Anna, Rachel, and 3 other contacts.
The mistake of thinking you're the only one who can plan ahead.
Claire's composure cracks. She lunges for the phone. Vanessa pulls it back. Claire grabs her wrist, nails digging in.
Give me that.
Let go of me.
You stupid, self-righteous.
David is there, pulling Claire away. Other customers stare. Someone calls for the manager. Claire wrenches free, breathing hard, mask completely gone.
You want to destroy me? You can't. I'll rebuild. I always rebuild. But you? You'll spend every day wondering when I'll strike, what I'll take next.
No,
Vanessa says quietly.
I won't, because you're going to prison.
Anna Kwan enters the coffee shop, 2 police officers with her.
Claire Hartwell,
Anna says.
you're under arrest for violation of your immunity agreement. You failed to disclose material facts about Jessica Kwan's death, which constitutes fraud. Additionally, you're being charged with harassment, stalking, and attempted assault. You have the right to remain silent.
Claire's eyes lock on Vanessa as the handcuffs close.
This isn't over.
Yes,
Vanessa says.
it is.
6 months pass in a blur of depositions, hearings, legal maneuvering. Claire's immunity deal collapses once prosecutors realize she withheld information about Jessica's death. New charges pile up: fraud, harassment, conspiracy. The brake line evidence from Jessica's car, re-examined with modern forensics, shows deliberate tampering. Claire's journal entries, her documented pattern of manipulation, her threats caught on recording, it all builds into an overwhelming case. But Claire fights. Her lawyers are expensive, skilled, relentless. They challenge every piece of evidence, question every witness, delay every proceeding. David gets full custody of their daughter after presenting Claire's journal entries and testimony from friends describing her manipulative behavior. The little girl, mercifully young, won't remember much of this. Meredith's IRS audit finds nothing. The anonymous tip was fabricated, easily disproven. She rebuilds her career, stronger now, no longer running. Ethan's lawsuit is dismissed when Rachel's investigation reveals Claire filed it using fraudulent documentation. His restaurant thrives, the publicity from the trial bringing in curious customers who stay for the excellent food. And Vanessa testifies, tells the court about Stanford, about Jessica, about the scholarship fraud and the pattern of manipulation that led to a young woman's death. The jury deliberates for 3 days, guilty on all counts. The courtroom is packed. Claire sits at the defense table, expression neutral, but Vanessa sees the tension in her shoulders, the slight tremor in her hands. Judge Catherine Morrison reads the verdict, then moves to sentencing.
Claire Hartwell,
The judge says.
you have demonstrated a pattern of manipulation, fraud, and violence spanning over a decade. You've destroyed lives, careers, and families through calculated deception and psychological warfare. You've shown no remorse, no conscience, no recognition of the harm you've caused.
Claire doesn't react. Even now, she maintains control.
Jessica Kwan was 23 years old when she died, a brilliant young physicist with her whole life ahead of her. You stole her work, destroyed her academic future, and when she threatened to expose you, you tampered with her vehicle. You sent her to her death as surely as if you'd pushed her off that cliff yourself.
The judge pauses, looking directly at Claire.
You've manipulated everyone around you, your husband, your friends, your business associates. You've treated human beings as pieces on a chessboard to be moved and sacrificed at your convenience. And when the legal system gave you a chance at leniency through your immunity deal, you abused that trust by withholding evidence and continuing your campaign of harassment. This court sentences you to 15 years in state prison for fraud, conspiracy, and criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jessica Kwan. Additionally, 5 years for harassment and stalking to run consecutively. 20 years total, with no possibility of parole for 10 years.
The courtroom erupts. Claire's lawyers object immediately, but the judge's decision stands. As they lead Claire away, she looks back at Vanessa one last time. No smile, no anger, just acknowledgement. They were never friends, but they understood each other completely. Outside the courthouse, the group gathers. Vanessa, Anna, Ethan, Meredith, David, and Rachel.
It's over.
Meredith says, like she can't quite believe it.
It's over.
Vanessa confirms. Anna puts a hand on Vanessa's shoulder.
Jessica would be proud. You didn't let her death be meaningless.
None of this brings her back.
No, but it stops Claire from destroying anyone else. That matters.
David speaks quietly.
My daughter asked about her mother yesterday, asked why Mommy had to go away. I didn't know what to tell her.
Tell her the truth.
Anna says.
Age appropriately, but the truth. That sometimes people make bad choices, hurt others, and face consequences. That's not abandonment, that's justice.
Jessica would have appreciated that.
Vanessa says.
Justice. Finally.
Rachel checks her phone.
The article about the sentencing just went live. It's already trending.
Good, Ethan says. Let people know what manipulation looks like. Let them see the consequences. They stand in silence for a moment. 6 people bound together by one woman's cruelty and their collective refusal to be destroyed by it.
What now?
Meredith asks.
We live.
Vanessa says simply.
Without looking over our shoulders. Without wondering when she'll strike. We just live.
Dinner this weekend? Ethan suggests. All of us. Celebrate survival.
And friendship.
Anna adds, looking at Vanessa.
Real friendship. Not the twisted version Claire tried to sell us.
Vanessa smiles, genuinely, for the first time in months.
Yes. Definitely yes.
They disperse slowly, back to jobs, families, lives that Claire tried to destroy but couldn't quite finish. Vanessa walks to her car alone, feeling lighter than she has in 7 years. Her phone buzzes with a text from Anna. Thank you. For everything. For not giving up on Jessica. For fighting when it would have been easier to run. You're the kind of friend she deserved. Vanessa sits in her car for a moment, reading the message again, feeling something warm and unfamiliar. Peace. Claire Hartwell, brilliant, ruthless, unstoppable Claire, is finally, permanently, stopped. And Vanessa Park, the girl who once provided answers to someone else's tests, who gave access without asking why, who stayed silent when she should have spoken, that girl is gone. In her place, someone stronger, wiser, unafraid. She starts the car, windows down, music playing, future ahead of her. The perfect life was always a lie. But this imperfect one, hard-won and honestly earned, this is real.
20 years. No parole. The courtroom fell silent. And for the first time, Claire had nothing left to say. The woman who thought she was untouchable was finally touched by consequence. The trap closed. The strings were cut. And the nightmare ended. Thank you for staying with us through every twist, every lie, every shadow. If this series left you breathless, hit like. Tell me in the comments, what was your favorite moment? Which betrayal hit hardest? First few replies get a shout out in the next story. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Because Life Stories Untold is just getting started. New thrillers, New secrets. New endings. Until then, sleep well. You've earned it. Life Stories Untold. The end for now.